We are live. It is 3:03 Central Standard Time in the United States, 9:03 BST in the UK. This is the Nomad Tech Project with Sam and Joe.
Hey,
coming to you live. The cracking the beer just kind of threw that whole intro off, and even his hey was a couple seconds below. That's fine. You know what?
I've had a week off. It's made me a bit slower. Sorry.
This has not been exactly the most professional show over the last 4 years. So, you know what the hell? That's why I got my kernels. We'll keep going. So, if you are watching the stream, congratulations. We appreciate that. And if you're going to watch later, that's cool too. And if you are watching the live, you will see that we have the captain. Andrew has decided to swing here and lose hour of his life talking to those fine chaps. So, yeah. Well, I mean, and I noticed you got the whole now. If you notice, Joe and I have kind of pretty basic kind of backgrounds, nothing crazy. I mean, I got some stuff on the shelf up here, you know, baseball paraphernalia and stuff like that, and sports stuff. But he's got this whole setup. He's got keyboards and this RGB thing going on, and a Mac and all that. Yeah, it's kind of nice, man. Those little adhesive acoustic squares. Is that what those? I don't. Or,
yes,
I mean,
that's what those are. So it's like I have the reason why all the stuff is out on display is because I don't have to store it then.
Right.
And
that's true.
But yeah, I've had those up for a while. They work pretty well, but they also just look nice. So I just use some M3 stuff to stick them up there. As far as I've got some of my keyboards that I've worked on through the years, but one of my newest projects that I've been working on is actually the iMac. That's an early 2009 Intel. What was it? It's a Core 2 Duo.
Okay.
I think. Cool. Yeah, Core 2 Duo. Yeah, real old. And it still had at some point it had a 2 terabyte drive put in there. And so but it was a spinning drive. And so I went and replaced it with a 500. I basically played musical chairs with my hard drives and put a 500 gig one in there and put Linux on it. And it works pretty well. I still laugh at working. Not sure why it's not, but.
Well, I was gonna ask if you put a Linux build on it, because that's one of my my colleague at work. He has an old. I don't think it's that old. It might have been maybe like a 2015 Mac that he uses, and he just uses it for development and has Linux build on it. He doesn't use
it's nice. Because it's a nice display. The only thing is I wish the processor was better, because if it was a little bit better processor, because right after this was the i7's first gens, it probably could process 4K on Plex, and it would be a good bedroom TV. Right now, it can do I can watch MASH on it in low resolution on this really nice display.
I've not seen MASH in a long time. Wow.
It's good. Watch it without the laugh track. It's best without the laugh track. The DVDs they released had that option, and it just hits so much differently.
Yeah, I bet.
But yeah, that's kind of so I've been messing around with that, and I just actually so I have Linux Mint on this. I did have Linux Mint on my desktop, so I'm dual booting. And I actually just took Mint off of it, and I had put CachyOS, which is an Arch build, on there, and that's a whole adventure. My first time messing with Arch, and it's more terminal than I was hoping, but whatever.
Well, that's cool. Play with these things, haven't you?
Yeah. So you got. Well, I like the fact that you have this kind of contrast, right? You have this very techie, lighty thing, and then it's on top of an old, armoire or chest of drawers.
Oh yeah,
probably from the 70s or 80s. I like that. That's it. I love that. It's a nice little contrast. I like it. Plus, those things are indestructible. Yeah.
Well, you know what? The wood grain tech needs to come back. You can't really see it back there, but I have a 1980s General Electric clock radio back there, because I could always have it do basically the Groundhog Day as long as the radio station playing it, or I could just have that obnoxious. Yeah. Well, just
that will
wake you up from a coma.
Yeah, and you basically just don't set it, so it just flashes 12 o'clock for 18 years.
Forever. Yeah, that's how you could always tell that your power went out.
Right. Yeah, it flashes. Let you know. That Sorry, the DVD hitting the DVD actually hitting the direct corner. You always waited for that too.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, that was so prolific that The Office had a whole bit about it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny because they had a sports event where there was like some guys in the crowd. They were kind of going like this.
Oh, that's awesome.
Right, and finally they were like waiting, and finally they got to the corner, and the whole place goes. Yeah, so
that's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, if you're an '80s kid, you know, like an old DVD head, that makes sense. Now, nobody does those anymore. So, well, we're happy we haven't had you on in a couple of minutes, so we appreciate you swinging on by. And
it's been
happy to be here.
There's a lot of change. You've got no facial hair.
Right.
So I was experimenting. So Joe, I was telling you earlier with Sam. I don't think you heard this. So like I had my goatee going like a couple of days ago, and I was like, you know what? I want to experiment with like the 1920s, like Howard Hughes sort of thing, and I trimmed just too far in on this side. I was like, no, like the whole time I'm just looking in the mirror, and my mustache is just like I can hear Nazi German coming out of it, and I'm like, no, and I just like had to shave it all off.
He was like 9. Oh,
yeah.
That's unfortunately, if you get to which is kind of a bad thing, you know, it's like Charlie Chaplin had it too, but nobody thinks he's Hitler. But I guess now that you kind of.
Well, here's the thing. Interesting thing and reason why that became popular. And because if you look at early photos of Hitler during the First World War in 1914, before gas warfare had been introduced, he had a full mustache. He had gotten gassed at some point because when you were wearing they seal kind of around here. And when you have those big giant mustaches, they don't seal very well. And he caught a little bit of gas. And so that mustache was people who did like it was right before, you know, the militaries were like, we're going clean shaven. And so that was like just so that mustache was like an in-between thing.
Yeah, I experienced that snorkeling. It really did cause a problem. Yeah.
Well, also I worked in an industrial plant. We had like respirators because at one point we worked with detergent that had enzymes in it, and when the enzymes are before they're added to detergent, they're airborne. They can cause issues, so you can get sensitized. So we used to have these respirators, and it was a problem for folks that would have hair because it wouldn't seal correct all the way. So I'm kind of used to that too.
Needless to say, I am growing this shit as fast as I can back in. So.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you look handsome, but I like you with some facial hair, mate. I think
because this makes me look 10 years younger, which is fine in certain circumstances, but other times I'm just like, I just have the Harrison Ford approach. I don't care.
Well, yeah, the problem is then you go to like Costco and they keep carding you to get alcohol. You're like,
you know what? That's okay. I'm okay with them calling me. Like, it's a compliment at this point.
I did get carded a couple of months ago, and I was like, dude, I'm 49. I'm almost 50. You guys really? And I go, yeah. He's like, well, it's card anybody that looks like they're under 40. I'm like, okay, well,
thank you.
I was just like, okay, whatever, it's cool. I mean, I don't personally, it didn't like move the needle for me. I'm like, whatever, it's all good.
Well, because if it doesn't do that, like, it's like for their benefit. That way, they're like, they go, oh, but they also feel slightly good about themselves afterward.
Right. We got some folks in the chat. We got Jimmy. Ted Salmon has decided he's going to just hang out for a little bit, so we appreciate that. What? I heard myself. Did I hear myself?
I don't know.
I don't know. It was like an echo. That's okay. Anyway, and I did hear it again. That must be Andrew.
Oh, it's me?
Okay. It has to be because I just keep hearing myself. It's like little clips of myself. That's okay. I think we're all right. So
stand by. And I can always adjust it.
Yeah. So
pardon me.
So anyway, what I guess the last time I think we were kind of in the middle of a phone change or whatever. So what are we using? What are we daily driving for our phone of choice?
I'm still holding the Xperia because right now, like so with all of the direction that Android's going with, making side loading harder and kind of getting rid of the spirit of Android, I kind of want to put Graphene OS, give that a try and get away from Google a little bit. And right now the only ones are Pixels, but I've been kind of not super enthused about the Pixel 10 series in terms of software implementation right now. There is a big part of me still that's like, okay, just get a Razer and put that Clicks keyboard case on it and then be done. Who cares about
I wouldn't
Zoom?
mind trying that. Yeah.
Who cares about Zoom?
Right.
Oh, yeah, that's the big downside, right? The zoom lens is gone from the Razer, isn't it?
That's true, but that's why I've got this.
I mean, he's got a camera, and I would think that.
What is it?
Oh, it's just a little like Samsung point and shoot that they don't make anymore. It's not bad. Like apparently all the youngins like point and shoots again. So I'm like, yes, I held on to this long enough.
It's very trendy now.
Right. I'm back being cool.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm the cool old man now.
Well, that's why everybody keeps saying that the Fox Body Mustang was like really. I'm like, nah, Fox Body 6 suck.
Yeah.
Sorry, dude. I mean, some of them are cool. Don't get me wrong, but no, not just no. I get it. It's okay. So anyway, well, good. You got the experience. So I guess, speaking of that, so you're talking about the changes to Android. So, I mean, there might be a few things in that list. Like, what are like the things that Android is kind of starting to?
For me,
I guess they would call it growing into, but this is kind of like metastasizing into a different kind of.
Yeah, it's
Android.
like it stinks because the more I look into this, and the more it's kind like they took advantage of. Okay. So there's the side loading fiasco with Apple.
Yeah.
Where the EU came in and they were like, you have to allow it. And so Apple implemented in a very particular way that's very Apple to try and retain control to a certain degree. Well, Google saw that and was like, well, this is an opportunity for us to crack down and be more first party with all of this and restrictive. And so they basically chose the same sort of thing that Apple did instead of leaving it the fuck alone. And that enrages me because like that's like the primary reason. Like I don't even sideload that many apps. It's the principle of the thing. And now we don't have any like Linux phones because they didn't catch on. And so it's going to take years to develop any OS that could work potentially. So now I'm thinking about going with Graphene OS just on a Pixel just so that I can give Google the proper fuck yous a little bit.
Do you think?
Which I might have good feelings about it.
Do you think Google admire Apple a little bit too much?
Everyone does. That's the whole problem.
Yeah, everyone does. Yeah,
that's the whole damn problem. And I say that, and I'm because like I've been checking out my sister's old iPhone 12 Pro, and checking out the latest version of iOS on it, and it's aight. I mean, it's I could use it if I have to, but it's like, you know,
Ted's been running Ubuntu Touch. Have you tried that before?
I've seen it, but I've not used it. But here's the thing, though. It's probably not the main phone that they're using because it's like there's not wide support. And like I like the idea of it a lot, though I kind of would rather it be away from Ubuntu. Like I like to have like a Debian or something equivalent where it's like it's its own thing. But yeah, like having it on the Fairphone. The Fairphone would be a perfect platform to run something like that on. But we're just a decade behind, basically. Like it's going to take a decade to get something like that going, and a lot can happen in that time.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I do like the side loading aspect. It kind of is a shame that they're kind of locking that down. But I think it's the same thing with like, you know, they could have support for, you know, bootloader unlocking so you could flash a ROM. But I mean, I used to be kind of big into the ROM flashing community, and I haven't flashed a ROM in forever.
I'm the same way, but this is probably my favorite phone, one of my favorite phones I've ever owned. It's still great.
Yeah.
It's only got like it's not going to get the next version of it. It's not going to get it's Android 16 or whatever it is, or whatever the next version is. And the only versions of this that have like a bootloader they can unlock to have any sort of newer versions that of custom software, it's the Hong Kong model. The US you can't, and so it's going to be stuck, and I'm going to have to upgrade artificially. And that's like a whole problem because there's nothing wrong with this phone at all. I love it. Someday I'll probably replace the battery in it for $600
you like it that much
because 12 people have Xperia phones in the United States. But
I don't think it's 12. It might be more like 6.
Yeah, I know. You know what? When I was in Japan, it was so refreshing seeing all of these everywhere, and I was just like, I'm the cool kid. You know?
Oh yeah, they loved it. Yeah, of course.
Well, I mean, it's Sony.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. I understand totally. Anyway.
I like Simon's comment you popped up there. I think that was a really good point because I really like the Huawei watches and tempted to get one, but that would be a problem, wouldn't it?
That's a good point. Never thought about that.
Yeah, how would it affect things like that? like Huawei watches and earbuds. People that have already got them, they can't sideload the Huawei Health app and stuff that they would need to run it.
Well, I'm curious if we're going to see something on XDA that can circumvent at least temporarily some of this stuff. But I mean, even at that point, like for example, the old Pebble app before Pebble came back on the scene, I would have to sideload that app to be able to use Rebel, which was the in-between software, to get it working again. Yeah. Sorry, I interrupted you, Sam. I apologize.
No, I would just say no. I would just say that it might be a situation where you may have to have an older phone and just not upgrade it. Basically, have an older phone and you just lock it to like an Android 14 and just basically turn it off from updates. You know, maybe getting like an older Pixel or something like that, where basically it doesn't get affected by this. Because I'm assuming if it's on your device now, you'd have to basically download an update that would basically squash sideloading, or maybe they're going to find a way to get it out of the phone altogether. But I think if you have a device that's running that same, base OS, the same kernel, the same hardware, the same software, you're just going to have to basically use that and kind of like, basically that's going to be your phone. And then this is kind of that unfortunate kind of thing when it comes to tech is some of the tech we really like and some of the tech that we personally enjoy, it just gets phased out. And then features of that same thing gets phased out. And then we've always talked about watching Android and iOS kind of start to kind of, coalescing, and basically they're coming into alignment, but basically having software and feature parity, right? It's the same things that Google wants to do with their OS, right? They no longer have to kind of, we have to let everybody go wild, right? We have to let all these OEMs, and we have to let people sideload and flash ROMs and flash radios and go crazy and use developer options. I mean, it's even called developer options. I mean, how many people are doing that on our phone? They're actually devs, probably maybe very little. And so I think as these kind of OSs mature and they're looking at things like, do people really use an S Pen? Do people really sideload apps? Do people really? And the answer is no. I mean, it's not even no, it's overwhelmingly no.
Wait a minute, you talk about pens, right? My new tech is actually a pen for my V5.
Yeah. I still got a Wacom pen. I don't think this one.
I love it.
I don't know.
Somewhere I have one of those old ones that what was it? That Juan Magnell used. It was thick. It took like quadruple A batteries. One. No, it was
not that one. Oh.
Yeah, this would work on any little screen, and it was like had a little battery and a little button. Like he used those for a bunch of his old camera videos from.
Yeah, I remember that. And this is not to say that I'm in favor of doing these things, right? But I can kind of understand why. I mean, we're really not. Because remember, it's one of those things that if you allow that, that's something that you have to support in your software builds. You have to continuously patch that. At least have to have that kind of maintained. And I think they're just like, hey, if we have 100 million subscribers and basically maybe half of 1/10 of 1% are actually still sideloading. I don't know anybody. I haven't sideloaded anything.
Don't defend it. They make enough money to support it.
Well,
so they should bloody support it for that few people that want it.
Here's the thing. For me, it's not even that. The real crux of the issue to me is control. They want to control how I use my device and when I have to replace it. And they want to impede into, essentially it's a philosophy around we control what you paid for and we get to call the shots on it. And I don't like that. Like there are benefits to having that approach, but I am instinctually anti any steps of taking the phone operating system paradigm and moving it on, like if like PC is on one side and like pure Apple style vertical controls on the other side. I don't like any moves that go towards that side.
Yeah.
And I know that there are benefits to it, but right now we're in this era of all of these corporations are trying to really aggressively push the idea that you don't own anything and you're going to like it.
Yeah.
And I think this is what it's really about.
Like you say, there's benefits to it, and they're very good at selling them benefits, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, it's great." But,
It is
Yeah.
like you do legitimately get benefits, like data gathering, like a company who wants to really sit through it and make a product that's really great for you. I'm sure that they could do that, but the problem is that's not the reality we live in right now.
And do you know what, as well, what they're using now, which is very the buzzword, they use AI as part of that as well.
Oh yeah, don't even get me started about the Pixel 10s.
Well, I mean, let's get started about the Pixel 10s. I mean, this is a show about that. I guess I'm not trying to be devil's advocate, and I'm not actually advocating for that because if anything, I do lean closer to Andrew's position on, buying physical media and everything else. But honestly, it's people have kind of ceded the convenience of having the thing. I mean, I remember back, and it's not very long ago. I have a friend of mine who has DVDs, right, tons of them. And I'm not kidding. And this used to be those things where, remember when you were a kid, all your VHS tapes, right? You'd have your mom and parents would have these big cabinets, and they'd have little sliding container deals, right? Exactly, for all your movies. But my question is if they were regular, I can understand that if they were back then when you had VHS, even DVDs, they weren't on demand. Right, so if you wanted to watch Tron, or in my mom's case, watch Dirty Dancing so much that the actual physical magnetic part of the tape failed.
I've done that before.
Right, and so I get it, right? But when you have the convenience of streaming and all that kind of stuff, it's like, do you really need to keep a library of 300 DVDs and or VHS tapes when if you wanted to watch Blazing Saddles, or if you wanted to watch a TV show or a series like The Office, like if you're watching that, you don't have to keep any of that stuff on hand, and you can have access to it anytime you want. Now, granted, you never own it,
right?
And I can understand that. So I guess it's about convenience and what the market is driving to, and clearly we are in a digital media distribution model that you don't anything. I mean, hell, even TV now. I told you what was going to happen with this Paramount Plus and Disney Plus and Netflix Plus and Hulu Plus and TV Plus. Like they're going to get rid of analog signals because it costs money, and now all you're going to have is a la carte TV services. Like, hey, I want to watch Tulsa King. However, in order for me to watch Tulsa King, I can't just rent Tulsa King or buy the box set of Tulsa King, right? I have to go to a store. I have to go or I have to get that service. But I don't even know what's Paramount. I guess it's Paramount Plus.
I think it's Paramount. Paramount has a lot of the. Yeah, it's interesting because, like, I would say to people you can have, in that sense, you can have a best of both worlds. Where I would recommend, like, even if you had old computer parts, or it's not that difficult to build a server and to have your own and digitize your own stuff. That way you have the convenience. But what I do is I have a NAS, a QNAP NAS that has 4 hard drives in it with 50 terabytes of storage. The drives are actually like manufacturer refurbished, so I didn't pay as much. So I got a little discount on them. But you have all your stuff, and then I put the physical media in bins in climate controlled storage. And then if I ever lose all my digital stuff, I have to go back and do it again, but I got it. So it's like, but it's tough because there's an initial investment. But there are ways where you can kind of take steps. It's like baby steps. You don't have to spend $1,500 on a dot to get your own digital independence.
Yeah, and I get this, and I'm in the same boat. That I live in an area that's rural in Missouri, and I don't have great connectivity. Luckily, I mean, I have some stuff, but I don't have access to fiber. So, I get you. And this is a completely accurate point, and especially for the UK, especially, but the United States, I would argue, is significantly physically larger than the UK. And there are way more places in the United States, especially even basically, I can drive it takes me 4 hours to drive from St. Louis to Kansas City. So essentially, I drive for 4 hours. I'm still in the same state.
That's right? Almost the same amount of time it took me to drive from Dublin to Galway.
Right, and that's just, and in Missouri is about a mid-size state, all things considered. Yeah. You can drive 11 hours in Texas and still be in fucking Texas. That's crazy. In the UK, if you drove straight from the tip of Northern Ireland all the way to the cliffs of Dover, maybe it'd take 10 hours if you drove straight through. I know there's sans traffic, right? So I get it.
I was
There's a
gonna say,
lot
in
more.
traffic, it'll take a lot longer.
I was gonna say,
Well, I mean,
is there a tunnel that connects Ireland and England, or
No.
I was
No.
like, and a ferry.
Ferry, yeah. that's
But
the
what I'm
way
saying
forward.
though is, so this is definitely a point. There's a lot of places in the United States that are rural that have absolutely no high speed internet at all.
Mhm.
And so I get this, and then but to the point that Andrew made. Look, I'm in IT and I don't want to build a fucking NAS. I don't want to do any of that shit. Like, I'm not in, I do enough tech shit at work all day. The last thing I want to do is come in here and build rack servers in my fucking house and do all this shit and stream. Nah, I don't even care. Like, I don't even watch a lot of media anyway, but I get it. I mean, there are ways to do anything. I mean, yeah, you could build your own car if you borrow the fucking parts for it. I mean, if you're a mechanic, you can buy a kit car and you can put your own car together essentially. And then, I know a lot of people, I can replace the spark plugs on my Mustang, and I did. Buy 4 Iridium plugs, you get a 10 mil socket. It takes 20 minutes, right? You know how many people don't even know how to change the air filter in their car? They don't even know where the fucking air filter is. So again, it comes down to, yeah, you could do all those things. That's not even, I don't think the barrier to entry, Andrew, is an investment thing. I think it's a capability thing. People don't want to sit there and rack out a bunch of NASAs and do, like distributed computing and have racks so they can watch,
Well, and like to be fair, my solution is like a first party solution that somebody that like QNAP put together. So like I didn't have to build it. So there is that. But yeah, I would agree. Like most people just want the convenience factor. There is a certain level of education with it, but it's like you're only going to reach so many people, like a certain percentage of the population with that message.
And so, yeah, I mean, and again, so just like anything else, as we have kind of transitioned, and we're old enough, at least I'm old enough to remember a world where, I grew up as a Cold War kid. Like I remember, and for people my age and our age, we remember a world there wasn't the internet. Like and when the internet was first there was no DNS, right? There was only IP addresses. So it was bulletin boards, right? And you had to know the IP addresses. And then when you tell people that, when you type in google.com in a search bar, it's DNS. It's negotiating that into an IP address. Like the people don't even understand that. And who cares? It doesn't matter. Right. Because all I know is I can go to the Google and I can ask it a thing. And now I get the information, and everybody rails against AI, and I get it. It's going to be one of those things where there's going to be people like us who are kind of old school that remember we do a decimal system. Yeah, fuck you, right?
And then my abacus,
right? and then you're going to have, and when you talk to my daughters, they don't even know what that is, and now they're just like, well, Dad, if you wanted to, listen to a music video or a music, you can just stream it or whatever. So it's going to be an interesting world for folks like us that are trying to have lived in both of these universes. And as we transition, trying to, and I can see both sides of it. Cause I do agree. It's nice to have a physical media, because what does happen when everything's on a cloud storage and gets nuked, right? Or the cloud server is insecure and it gets penetrated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's, sorry, go ahead, Joe.
Let's put it this way, right? You can't have too much of a good thing, right? And that's why, for example, you went camping, you switch off for a bit, and it's a nice thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like we love our tech, but sometimes it's nice to switch off.
Well, and one thing a big reason why I have my NAS, sure, I have it for my own personal use, but another thing is, so I have a brother with autism, and there are a lot of specific things that he likes to watch. And they're like, for example, one that he loves, and it's only ever been confirmed because I can keep track of his viewing. Did you guys ever hear of it? It's Shining Time Station in the 90s. It was basically Thomas the Tank Engine, but they had this whole other like the Thomas the Tank Engine clips, but then it had this whole other thing that took place at this Shining Time Station. It had this all other cast, and I had to find that on archive.org because it's never been released. It's just VHS recordings. And so I put all of that in there, and he has it to watch it. So it's like, it's a certain thing of like security for the people I care about. They have this specific things that they're going to want, especially in his case. It just brings a lot of comfort for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's Andrew. We were here. Simon missed it. He was trying to trim up his mustache and went full Hitler. Got a little weird. It didn't work. And then he's got to hear that, that in the background, he's hearing music. He wants to conquer shit.
I heard Indy's bull whip in the background. The closer it went in, and I was like, nope. Thank you, Harrison.
Yeah, and it is like, you know what? It's all gone. And then the funny thing is, I actually at one point, that's kind of an adjacent little story. So I had just I had a goatee. I'd never had facial hair, obviously, and then when I got a law enforcement, I was able to grow facial. Now they can have beards. Whatever.
Okay.
Whatever. It's fine. I'm a little salty about it because I could never have.
Hey, these police officers look like Civil War soldiers now.
Right. Some of them. I mean, I'm saying their uniform still needs to be crisp, but I mean, they allow facial hair.
It's like the Stonewall Jackson going.
Right.
A lot of times.
Yeah. So, one time I had a goatee, so I just kind of shaved it just so I had the mustache because I didn't know how. I'd never had one, so I was in the shower. And then I remember telling Becky, and I said, "Hey, come here, look at this." She goes, "Oh no, you shave that off. You look fucking ridiculous." So I was like,
for a second.
And it was funny because I wasn't a big fan, but if she was a big fan, I would kind of rock with it. But then when she saw it, she's like, "Oh no, dude, nope."
So
shave that
thing,
stupid. So it was gone.
Well, Joe, I get it. Okay, you don't have to do this if you don't want because this is glorious, but. Sam, you and I have to do like somebody mentioned it, the Mo Shave November where you just have the big giant mustache.
Yeah.
We'll bring it back. We'll call it the Tom Selleck.
Yeah, no. And this is the reason why I can't pull it off because if I try to do that, it's going to get vetoed in a very serious way.
But you could throw a little thing on it. One time I did it was horrific because my hair doesn't like it thins as it gets further up here, unlike other glorious people. But like I did the whole like chops thing.
Oh no.
Then you could tell your wife, you're like, hey, you get both.
It's like a biker thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can just grab my hair and just be like.
No, if I try to pull that, no, she has made it very clear. I mean, she usually gives me a lot of latitude on, obviously, hair length and stuff like that. When it comes to that, that's a serious veto power. So.
Fair.
Which is fine. That's fair. And any thoughts on the forthcoming Pebble watches with App Store? I don't know anything about this. So this is good.
What, you don't know anything about this?
I don't. Not really.
So basically, they're making new Pebbles with some updated software. Coolest thing about this is you're going to be able to update all the old Pebbles, which I have mine on Rebel, which is like the spin-off one that they did.
Okay.
And you'll be able to use the old Pebbles on the new app, which is cool.
That's cool.
And the new I like them. The design's a little utilitarian. I like the old Pebble Times, and I wish they'd make another one. I know they don't have plans to make another one, which I get it because they're trying to hit the widest audience to try to build from someplace. But there's some really interesting interviews I listened to with the main guy at Pebble. I don't know if it was yes, it was in the Clicks podcast. It was the one with Mr. Mobile, Michael Fisher. And they were talking about how he's like, yeah, I just wanted another Pebble. And I made it because it's something I wanted and other people wanted it. And then now all the old Pebbles are starting to die and I wanted another one, so I'm making another one. That's basically it. It seems like.
Yeah, I've never had a Pebble. I don't know much about it. I mean, I do wear. I mean, this is an OG Pixel watch, so I do have some wearables, and I still have, and I still have my my little Xiaomi Mi Band, or I don't know, Xiaomi Band.
I've got several Amazfits that I really enjoy.
Yeah, and so I get all that. So I guess this is the Pebble, right? This
yes, Pebble. It's gonna have longer battery life, like
30-day battery life. They're stating.
Yeah, the old Pebbles were like a week. This is in their e-ink displays.
Yeah, that's what caught my eye actually.
They're nice because they're reflective. The buttons are nice. Also, the software is quirky. Like it's not to the point where it's getting in your way of doing stuff, but it's got character.
So
the Pebble Time too looks good.
This kind of stuff, right? Okay, so we're in this bed.
Yeah.
That's the one.
The Pebble Time. Wait a minute. What? They've announced a Pebble Time 2?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, this is Re-Pebble? R-E-Pebble? I know it's Repebble. I don't know what's going on.
So heart rate monitor.
So there's Rebel, R-E BBLE, which was the replacement software. Basically was when Google, Fitbit bought out Pebble, then killed the brand. But then people remade the OS and release it as Rebel, and so you had to basically sideload some stuff and get it working, and you can still use these Pebble watches because the app had been taken off the App Store. So if you read that, that's where that's from.
Okay, so this is some dude, this guy doing stuff. It's not a Kickstarter.
Personally funded it.
Yeah, so he's personally funded it, and it's his own little 2 new Pebble smartwatches that run open source Pebble OS. Okay, and are compatible with thousands of your beloved. I don't know anything about Pebble, so
okay.
I'm just saying. I mean, so in case anybody really gives a rip, here it is. It's this. This is the website. You know, this is that dude, right? Eric Miggy. So you go check it out and do all that kind of stuff, right? So go check that out. And if you're a Pebble human, I don't know much about it, but that's pretty cool. I think he had a Pebblegasm.
Yeah, I did in fact, because I love the Pebble.
Did he just say that?
Pebble was really the first smartwatch that actually got mass appeal.
Yeah,
like
I said, and for me, maybe that's something I need to check out because I am more about a minimalist thing. I don't really need the smartwatchy thing because I don't use all the. Yeah, I think for a person like me, I should check it out. So I don't know. I mean, it's I don't know much
physical buttons.
Yeah,
right.
Well, I can go get my old Pebbles right now. They're like they're in my closet over here. But yeah, the physical buttons are great. Though I think the new ones also do they have digitizing touch capability? I think that's another thing they might have added.
Yeah, the Pebble Time 2 does. I'm not sure about the.
Okay, yeah, because it's like that's actually something that's nice. The Pebble Time 2 is a new thing that because that's actually surprising to me and hilarious because on Reddit they were just like, no, we don't have any plans to make another one.
Yeah, formerly known as Core Time 2. They say
Core Time 2.
I don't know if that means anything to you.
Well, because they had the Core was in their naming nomenclature for one of the reboot ones. Man, I have just apparently unplugged from this for too long.
Well, Ted brought it up, and I'm glad he did because.
Oh shit, man. It's tough though. The higher the price the Pebble gets, though, the harder it is as a sell because
I say $225.
That's for the Core 2 Duo, but you can go for the old school. The old school Core 2 Duo is $149. It's black and white display, polycarbonate frame, $149, ships in July. And then there's the Core 2 Duo, which has step and sleep tracking, has a barometer and compass sensors. It's a little bit more, and then you've got the Core Time 2. That's the one that's $225. That's a color display. It's it's actually touch sensitive. So and there's a Tom's guide too. So check that out. They're talking about it, and apparently that's So if you're the Pebble person, and this might be right up your alley. I should try to get. I think there was a working name then changed.
Sorry, you guys saw my tech lust face here.
Yeah,
right.
So.
I'd love to see that.
Right. So, and then and that's cool. I mean, and I think that's the problem is all these. The other day I still have my Microsoft Band 2. It's still in the drawer, and I used to use that to play golf with. It had a little golf thing. Well, it tracked shots, and then it was attached to. Right, and obviously it's been weighed down. So I mean, it was kind of one of those things where it was like, I hate it because I really liked the design. I really liked the Microsoft Band. I really wish they would have kept it, but everything Microsoft hardware wise, they get rid of it just because they suck.
Well, yeah, it's like I love the Amazfit. I had an Amazfit band that's really good. They're not super great about updates. Sometimes they will occasionally, but it's but it's interesting to see how some random like people might say random Chinese products like that they're getting more support than Microsoft's giving to some of their products.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Which is weird to say because it challenges the perception that people have, but it's interesting.
Yeah. So Pebble is based on Linux or what? What's open source? So
yeah, it's open source. Yeah, I guess it is. It's just it's a very specific thing.
Yeah.
Speaking of operating system stuff, what launchers are you guys using?
See, I don't use launchers, but I hear you're using a few right now.
Well, I think he's test driving a few because his beloved Nova launchers bought the farm. So
it still technically functions, but eventually it won't.
Yeah.
Right.
And
So he needs to start kind of shopping around for the next hotness. So
what's on the shopping list, Andrew?
Shopping list. Ooh, here, stand by. I'm loading it up here. I'm testing out a whole bunch of different, I have a whole bunch of different launchers on. So, okay. Action Launcher, Hyperion, Launcher 95 Pro, Launcher, Lawn Chair, Lynx Launcher, Microsoft Launcher, Niagara Launcher, Nova Launcher, Octopi Launcher, Smart Launcher, Square Home, Total Home Launcher, and Xperia Home.
Which one do you like the most so far?
Nova.
And why? Nova.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I'm like, so I've got Smart Launcher up now. So I've got like a little. You can't really see it that well right now, but I got a little search bar and I have a little a Gemini search and whatnot, and then
right.
It's
widgety.
Yeah, I really gave the Windows Phone tile Square Home Launcher a try.
No, I can't.
I bet Niagara's quite good on that though. On the next,
it is. Niagara's nice because it does make it takes advantage of the
21.9.
Yeah, because it's
Niagara would be good. I've used Smart Launcher before, but I think there was another version of it. I think it was Smart Launcher 5, I believe, and I got into a real big trying all sorts of launchers at one point on my old phones because I wanted something different. And I did try Nova, and I actually have Nova, and I've had Nova, Prime for, I don't know, probably 6 or 7 years. I liked Microsoft's launcher, but the problem is, I don't know what it was, is on LG phones, it just would not play. Actually, LG phones did not do a good job of any third-party launcher I use. It always got a little weird. It just did not like a Microsoft launcher whatsoever. And I do use it. That's usually when I have changed my launcher and I kind of rotate through. And I tried. Now, Total Launcher is kind of interesting because it's super, super customizable.
Yes.
Almost to the point of being overwhelmingly so. There's so many ways to do it.
This is my Total Launcher setup.
Yeah, and I tried that too. But the problem with mine and I guess when I tried to do it, some of those dependencies, they break. And then some of them don't work right, and then they just don't. And then you have to reload the whole thing. It's if you're looking for the aesthetic, that looks great. When I tried to do that after a couple of weeks, I noticed I was starting to have some of those widgets or whatever that would kind of break or not function correctly or whatever. And it's like
even on Nova, I was having a problem with one of the weather widgets where I'm constantly having to manually refresh the data. I shouldn't have to do that. Don't worry. We also have 95 launcher.
Yeah, I tried that. If you got if you want a little PC interface, and I've tried to use it, you
need to plug a mouse into your phone now for that.
It's again, if you want to have a PC kind of vibe going on, it's cool. Like I said, and I know Ted. I know he's used Octopi. I actually have Octopi and tried it. I actually like it too.
I do too.
And I think probably if you're coming from Nova launcher, I think Octopi would probably be a nice one. Niagara is great. Sometimes though, I think having the list of 8 really kind of irritates me. And then I've got to kind of still. I'm just easier for me to go to the list and just pull them up that way.
Well, and it's the wasted space I have a problem with.
Yeah,
because I like the idea of the minimalism, but there are columns of space.
Yeah,
to put data in.
Seems like a waste. Yeah,
it's a huge waste because I'm scrolling a ton and then I'm constantly searching. It's no, the icon paradigm is still king for me.
Yeah,
but I want to be able to customize it any way I want.
Yeah,
but it's just one of those the alternatives that just aren't. Yeah, I've tried Niagara. It's kind of it's all of those you go to Android r/Android themes or whatever, and you see all these crazy minimalist setups. I'm like, who in the real world uses that?
Yeah, it's not me. It's not me.
It's like those people who use those tiny keyboards that just have the Q, A, and Z rows.
Yeah,
Right.
it might look nice, but it's not functioning how I want it to function.
Exactly. So
Yeah, and I don't yeah, I agree. And to me, and again, I'm gonna beat a dead horse. It's a broken record, but I still like the way Windows Phone handled. Just you swipe and you have a nice alphabetical list you can kind of go to real quick. And on the tiles, not only did you have tiles, right, but they were functional. Like I didn't have to open my Outlook, it would just show me the next message. It would give me a couple of sentences or the you know what I mean? It was I'd like some of the way the live tiles functioned when they had hook-ins to them, and that was really cool.
So there is a kind of a cool little thing in that spirit. Action Launcher had it, but you can also use it in Smart Launcher, where you like flick like a flick gesture on the icon. You can bring up like the widget.
Yeah, a little like a window, and it shows. Yeah, and so that was kind of cool.
And Action Launcher actually does it pretty well.
Right. Yeah, and I like that. But I just like the fact that what was nice about the Windows Phone version with having the live tiles was I didn't have to interact with it. I could be looking at the screen, and your message would come up, and it would come down, and the animation would window, and you'd see, hey, what's up? Oh, LOL, okay, or BRT, and you never had to touch it. It just came up, and then it went away, and you're perfectly fine. So
Windows Phone. That was like the only time I felt like having like a slideshow of personal photos on your home screen.
Oh yeah, yeah, I did like that too. You just got to make sure you have the right photo album.
Oh yeah, like this was my like stuff because I'm like everything must be data dense.
Yeah, Joe's like, yeah, if you know. I said that, and Joe's like, yeah,
not me. I don't know what you're talking about.
I have no idea. That's what the kids say. I have no idea.
It's the things people send me that's the problem. It's not
right. I'm not looking for this stuff. It's literally I'm being polluted by these other humans, right?
I've got some bad friends.
So, I did notice that. So yeah, obviously the new Pixel Fold came out, and it's not landing great. First of all, people are complaining it's $1,800, which is they always are. But they're like, and same with the 10 series. Everybody's kind of I see there seems to be a general kind of meh. There seems to be a general meh about it. And I don't know if that, and I don't necessarily, you're obviously going to get that from the Pixel haters, right? People that just don't like Pixels. Anytime they have a chance to just throw shade, they're in. It's for people who are kind of Pixel people. They're just kind of like, I think finally the 10 was kind of like their like swan song. They're like, okay, I'm kind of done with Pixel. Like Mike's been, he's been a Pixel dude forever. A lot of people who are hardcore now. My buddy Zach talks like he's
even Lenny's got a flip right now, Sam.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. People who are like
Pixel,
Pixel people are kind of just like they were. I thought they were waiting for the TSMC build and they were kind of thinking that it was going to turn this major corner, and it kind of didn't for a lot of people. And I think a lot of people are kind of upset about it. And I think they're just kind of like, well, shit, I already got the 9. Again, it's not even really iterative. It's almost like it's just kind of like a sideways. And like now, if you have like an OG Pixel Fold, I would even suggest get the 10. I'd say go get the 9 because it's a lot more affordable, right?
Yeah, but Sam, like, it's such a chunky boy. When you've got, I know you haven't got access to the V5, but Samsung have done amazing things with the Fold 7, and it just looks like a chunk.
Right, and I think that's where Pixel kind of dropped the ball on that. I think Samsung finally did a couple things. They didn't address the front screen totally. It's still not as wide. It's wider, but software-wise and hardware-wise, with the thinness and the front screen being a little bit more usable, I think Samsung kind of crushed all that, at least in the American market. Clearly, if you're, to the point where I don't think OnePlus is coming out with an Open 2. I think they're just like,
Sad.
That's fucking. We're done. They're just like, we're good. We're tapped out.
That's so sad.
You know why? It's because Oppo.
It's because Oppo. I don't think they had anything to do with Samsung or anything. I think Oppo is kind of like, eh. And I think, and even just
premium stuff's with us now. Sorry, OnePlus.
Well, it's interesting too because I think with the new Pixel Fold, whatever it's called, I call it the whatever. I think that the thickness would have been okay if they had introduced more hardware improvements in the form of a higher capacity silicon carbide battery. And they do have to update, even if there's growing pains.
You could forgive then, couldn't you? Yeah.
Yes, like in the cameras, like getting a better sensor that captures more light, and even if there's growing pains, something, but you're charging almost $2,000. I'm sorry, but no. And also I know that there's a big problem. Like the software is going to just get better. It just is, because they release it before it's the reality now is most Android manufacturers release their hardware before the software's ready. And so now, I'm not too terribly worried about the software side, except for the fact that Google has a priority problem, which is they're focusing on this AI bullshit when they're letting bug fixing go to the wayside, apparently. But we don't know.
Maybe they're hoping AI is going to fix the bugs for them.
No, and honestly, I don't think that's just an Android problem. I think that's a software problem in general when you're talking from a development standpoint, right? So,
Agreed.
how many times have we had 0-day patching? We've had iterative patches. You have a 26.0.1 patch, right? And that and I also make an argument too that, remember, you're not fundamentally changing how this OS looks. I really don't think we should be calling it iOS 26 or iOS 15 or 16 or 17. It's really 15.2 point whatever, right? 15.3. Because remember, the number to the left is a major software change. And Android has not changed so significantly from Android 10, right? No. And same thing with iOS. iOS is still the same. So technically, it really isn't. And that's what, from developer standpoint, when people do software development or they do that, it drives them crazy because the numbers matter. But and I agree. I just, like I said, I just think they kind of, Pixel kind of has always leaned on their camera chops and computational photography in their software suite.
Yeah, but I think they're falling behind on that now.
I think they're starting to fall behind a little bit, and I think, at least in the foldable, I don't know. And here's the thing too. And this happened, and I will tell you that it had nothing to do with my input. As a matter of fact, I actually tried to talk her out of it because I thought I was getting hamstrung. Anna, she upgraded to a Z Flip from an Android, from an iPhone. Yeah, she was, she had an iPhone 13 Pro Max. She was ready for an upgrade. She came to me. She goes, "Dad, I want a Z Flip." And I was like, "No, you don't." She was like, "Yeah, I do." And now granted, she's had Android before. She had my old OnePlus 6. HTC. She's had my Windows phone, so she's from around the way a little bit. But the problem, as I told her, is well, honey, and that's great because and I asked her, I said, what's going on? And she said basically all of her friends are now starting to talk about how Apple just kind of isn't doing anything, right? It's the same iPhone, it's the same iPhone, it's the same, and people who are her age are literally starting to shift, and they're actually taking a chance on the fact that it's different. I mean, and there was I was like, well, what about iMessage? And all your friends are going to give you shit because it's a green bubble, and you don't have iMessage.
But they're probably not. But they're not zillennials. So they don't give them shit.
Well, I don't know. I mean, she's just turned. Actually, to be honest, I can't believe it.
No offense to any zillennials. Then it's just I don't see that shaming happening for my generation.
Today, and today is Anna's birthday. She's 24 today. So I forgot. Yeah, and then Kaylin will be next Sunday, the 19th, and then Becky's is on Halloween. So this is October is the birthday month in our family because everybody has their birthday except me. Mine's in July. But anyway, but I asked her, I said, "Are you sure you want to do this? Because I don't want this to be kind of a flash in the pan kind of thing." She just kind of, and she's like, "No, Dad." And I said, "Okay, because once we do this, we're not doing early up. I'm not paying for any of that shit." And she's like, "No." And so, and I helped her set it up, and it was a little bit of a pain because coming from an Apple device is a little bit of a hassle when you're trying to switch over, and they make it on purpose kind of difficult because that way you don't want to just change. But she's had it now for about a week and she loves it. And I asked her, I said, "What about your friends? Are they kind of giving you a little bit of heat because you've left Apple and you're not using an iPhone?" And she's like, "No, if anything, I show them the things, right?" So hey, look at what really made her happy? She's big into Formula One. She put a video. She downloaded some video with race car. I don't know. So it was like a little 10-second little clip. That's her lock screen. And when she's clamshell, and she's like, people think that's cool as hell. And I'm like,
it is.
It is cool as hell.
That's something that I've missed from my Note 20 Ultra is video lock screen wallpapers. It's
just little shit like
ever.
that.
Or GIFs. You can set animated GIFs too.
Right. And I think with the Fold 7, the Flip 7, I think Samsung has kind of and I saw Michael's comment, and I don't want to overlook it. So I apologize. So I want to go back. It's a little bit deeper. There's not much market to win over. You're right. and I agree with this, and it's a little bit more than 1%, but I'm telling you, if Apple is getting into this market, that 1% is going to radically shift. It's not going to be 1%. And the only reason why people, and I guarantee right now, if there was an iFlip or whatever, they'd start selling them.
Okay,
they would start to sell them. So this number is going to change when Apple jumps in the game. This is going to be a growing segment. Now, will it be a one-to-one segment versus flat phones? I don't think we're ever there. Right? I don't think so. I do think we make a dent in that, and the fact that it's starting to move the needle for. And my daughter was like, in that, hey, Dad, I can't use an Android phone because all the things, right? All social groups, all that pressure. That was a real thing. It is a real thing. But the fact that not only did she change, but then other people are kind of going, hey, that's kind of cool. And that's where Google doesn't have a flip. And I think that's where Motorola's positioned. And I think that this is where Google's losing, because now their only foldable was the Fold, and then they got overtook by the Z Fold, right?
Well there's a huge difference. Here's the thing, though. There is a much bigger difference in developing an experience for a tablet foldable, like the new Fold versus a flippable Fold, because with the tablet, you have a different paradigm. You're trying to merge regular phone with tablet, versus with the flip phone. Most of the time, they're just like, oh, it's a cover screen that's like a smartwatch. But otherwise, you can just have like a launcher, like a motor, and just run whatever. But it's never going beyond that slab design. And I think that there's tons of iteration. I think that's where Apple will go first, because it's a safer bet, because they don't have to do as much work to completely shift the paradigm of how you use your phone.
Yeah, and even Joe, I mean, didn't you've kind of like, you're kind of pixeled. You're like, I think I'm with all the honors and all the other. Well, I think, is it part of that because of your options that you have available in the UK? You have a lot more Android options, so you can kind of walk away from Pixel. Like, what do you think is the driver for you kind of going, I'm gonna take a break for a while?
I think there's a few factors for me, like me getting my camera, and like now sort of focusing more on my whole overall experience and not just the camera experience. That has partly made me go. Me trialing different things from China, like the Vivo X200 Ultra, and trying OnePlus, and now trying Honor again is a factor. And going on to Honor, I loved the V3, and now I've got the V5. But it actually has got good cameras as well. So, I mean, I'm getting everything, a big canvas, small canvas. I've got pen input. I've got decent cameras, decent speed. I've got literally everything you would want in a smartphone on here. And it's like, wow.
Right. And I guess the compromises don't feel as compromised. Like, whereas maybe a couple of years ago, you're like, yeah, I can get a foldable, like a V3.
It feels really robust. Yeah, it feels really robust now. I mean, this isn't mine, but I would buy one if I wasn't given one to test, because the inner screen, even from the V3, right? Like my Now could easily mark the V3, whereas this one feels so robust, so solid. Like when my nails grow longer, I mentioned it in my video I recently launched. I don't have any fear anymore. It's really moved on. Yeah, look, I'll poke my nails and I'll smash my mic as well. I'll poke my nails into it now. Look, I'm like really, like
kind of pushing.
Because that's interesting. Because I went in with the Samsung, the new Samsung, like into the Best Buy, and I was that asshole, and I was like,
yeah, and your nail makes a mark, doesn't it?
Right. I mean, it did. It still should. Okay. I trim my nails, but I don't like file them. So they're like, I'm still. I guess apparently they're still deadly weapons to foldables.
Such
is how confident.
Such a knuckle dragger. You don't file your nails.
No,
they just. I do file my nails. I drag along the ground in the concrete, and they kind of round out real nice. So
this is honest confidence with their screen. You know.
Like,
that's fair.
I think the technology. I think I will tell you, of all the foldables I had, I don't really honestly, and this is just the way I am anyway, just generally, but definitely now, I don't feel so like everybody's like, the durability. Clearly, durability factor. Any screen that folds clearly is not as durable as a slab. Let's just, no matter how bad. However, I don't have near the anxiety now. I will tell you that's probably because I've had foldables now and flips, and they've gotten better. But also, I've kind of got over that anxiety about like damaging the screen. And honestly, when you're doing stuff on your phone, are you really using the tip of your finger? I am always using the pad of maybe the tip, maybe the top of it, but never really the nail.
It's more when you open it. You know, when you go like that and you open it, my nail goes into it there.
Right.
I'm not showing you there. So when you open it, you grip it like that, and that's when my nail used to go in it. And I used to get a mark here, but I don't have that fear. Look, it's great.
As a kid who grew up watching Star Trek: The Next Generation, 100% I used the tips because I was always watching the actors like interacted and stuff. 100% I'm like tip of my finger, and then like but so that's how I always know too when I'm like, okay, I have to trim my nails because I'm OCD. I'm like, oh no, I can't go like this without my nail touching. If it's like has to be like this.
Like, your finger's not touching, it's the nail. Yeah,
trim them.
And I think Michael's on here. Something like, if Motorola did get, and the problem is I just think Moto doesn't have. Again, it's one of those things where I just don't think because I asked Dan, I said, okay, if you're going to a flip, right? You know, there's the Moto, there's the Razor. I've had Razors, I love them, and actually, because
there is clicks for the Razors.
Well, yeah, there is, but I'm saying though is to this comment, I get this, but I think for people who are maybe flip people that are willing to try it once they kind of get into that flip life, and that's kind of the form factor they're into, maybe a Motorola becomes a thing. But I asked her, I said, hey, you know, there's the Razor. We can look at the Razor 2025. I can get your and she's like, nope. And I said, why? She goes, because you can't do all the cool shit that I've seen on the videos. And nobody's talking about the Razor on TikTok and Instagrams and the X's and the Twixes.
That doesn't mean you can't do the cool shit. You probably can, but it's just not.
You can do the cool shit. It's the fact that she doesn't. It's not a 1-to-1, and this is the And companies, for the love of all that's holy, the only reason Pixel is popular now is because finally they decided we should probably tell people that Pixels fucking exist, and they did with the Pixel 6, and all of a sudden, who knew? People want to buy them and they ask about them and they think it's a viable option. It's the same thing it's the same thing. You know what killed this? Because nobody on earth knew what it was. And nobody knew it was even a thing. Right. Same thing with
LG and HTC.
Well, they did. They had the commercials with they had the commercials with
the problem was they
Gary Oldham.
And they with the LG, they advertised features that were not unique to their devices. And then HTC just had their head up their own ass. Right.
And like I said, I think it's one of those things where I think if Motorola had more of a presence where people knew that they had, because clearly to be honest with you, I kind of think the Razor from a hardware perspective is the superior product. Even from a software perspective, especially if you're using the cover screen, because you have to do all that. And I set up that good lock thing, and it was kind of a hacky way to do it, and I didn't like any of that shit.
But updates, that's the thing. So if Clicks made a case for the new flips, I would probably get the flip over the Razor just because numbers of years of updates, and you can set the front screen to do the same thing. Ultimately,
and Michael Tech, he's got the V5. Yeah. Oh, I thought that said penis.
Yeah, I knew he was going to say that.
Hey,
I'm just saying. The eye could be real.
It could be used as a capacitive stylus.
Right.
I mean, I do love tech, but I definitely don't use penis on my device.
I like having Bluetooth in my stylus.
We're not judging. It's fine. We're not judging. But yeah, and like Michael talked, and he's got a V5. I'm telling you, man, I would love to try the V5 because I think honestly, if that were a valuable option in the United States, like I can get carrier support, it would at least work on AT&T or whatever carrier. I would like to rock with that thing. I think I would at least. I can tell you right now is I cannot at this point go back to a slab. The way I was going to find out was going back to the Pixel 9 Pro XL, which is a great phone, by the way. I don't care what anybody says. Yeah, there's a couple of things that suck. Yeah, I get it. I can't play Genshin Impact apparently, which I don't fucking play, but whatever.
You can.
And it can. It just won't be as good, which I don't play it. And I mean, the charging speed's a little slow, but as far as like the phone itself, it was baller. I love the phone. But after having it for a year, when I saw the Fold 7 and what was bringing to the table, I'm like, dude, I got to go back to a foldable. I mean, you know what ruined it for me? The goddamn Duo. That's what ruined it for me. The Duo ruined me on slab phones. And it's a shame because obviously I still have it. Oh, I did go back and get a physical SIM, by the way, at AT&T. When Anna was there, she was like, hey, you want, I said, can I have a physical SIM provision? She's like, really? You want to go back? Yeah, I would like to have that done. So I'm back to physical SIM. And so she got a clear case, and unfortunately, she wanted the coral colorway, right? They didn't have the coral at 18. So she got the blue, which actually is, I think it's the same blue as is the one on, yeah. But what I did do is I went to extremeskins.co.uk. They had a BOGO. I had a BOGO. I bought, and since I had a BOGO, I got her. She got the textured matte orange because she wanted the orange, right? And I got the skin for my Duo 2 because I never had a skin for my Duo 2. It's only on my Duo, right? My Duo 2 is got the lavender, or I guess it's lavender. I forgot what it's called. And then my Duo 2 is just clean, right? So I got the dark blue, right? So I got to buy one get one. It only cost me $25. So go check them out. So yeah, that's what happens. Like you go to the store, they don't have the color you want. That's okay. Just get a skin from extremeskins.co.uk. Go ahead and check them out. I mean, I'm in the United States, so you don't feel like you have to be in Europe. You don't have to be. And go ahead and order that and get you some. Buy one. They got console skin. They got phone skins. They got cases. They actually have cases. Not all the cases, but I'll check them out. And so I got for $25. I got her a case, a little clear case on Amazon. I think it had a hinge. So she's gonna get the phone color she likes, and she also protects her from scratches.
Sam, have you seen who's in the chat? Wonderful ladies in there.
Oh, my better half. Hello. I would have all the phones. I would order it from China. It would be so good. I would get all the phones.
I knew that was coming as well.
Even the golden phones
they
from China. Right. It's like, I mean, I just think it's cool because it's a shame. Like we always have this argument, right, Andrew? It's like you have an Xperia and they just never told anybody in the United States. I mean, I did see a person actually having an Xperia, and it was at work. I was like, and it was such a like, holy shit. Like, and he looked at me, I looked at him, I was like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, I know, right? I'm like, we're probably only two humans in the United States.
If you're driving a Monte Carlo and you come up to a light and someone else is in a Monte Carlo,
you're just like,
you don't even say nothing, just nod to each other.
Right. Exactly. And it's just a shame but I think that, for people like Joe and then I know that, Darren from our Tech Disruptors chat, guys, he's talking about, I think, are you ready to finally embrace foldable phones? Because I think at this point, I mean, and if you don't want to, I always tell people, if you're really weird about the durability and you don't want to open up the screen because it's weird, fine. Just rock it in this posture almost all the time, right? And
that's the thing, Sam. Like they're just like normal slabs like this, aren't they now?
Right. And this I would like it just a touch wider. Do I want it as wide? Do I want as wide as the Duo? And the answer is no. And I will tell you why. Because whenever I would use the Duo, that's the perfect. He's got this phone. He's like this 20 minute. Get the fuck out of here. You're like, yeah, right.
I like columns.
Right. Fucking like bing bong columns. Right. So, but like the problem with the Duo, whenever I used it, in that phone posture it was just a little bit wide. And after about 15 minutes of talking on the phone, my hand would start to, and I don't have bigger hands. So my hand would start to fatigue from if it was just a smidge thinner on the phone posture. Okay. Oh, you're doing the dragon. Really? If they do smoke rings, we could be like 1980 and just got to get a chain wallet and then we'll be all in.
So funny thing. So back when my mother would smoke, which she quit in the 70s, she learned to blow smoke rings because of The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings.
It's such a middle Missouri thing to do. It's kind of like, it's like you almost have Marlboros. Yeah, you got to be that. Yeah, you got the Beast. You're drinking with your buddies at a pickup truck and you're blowing smoke rings. It's kind of a thing. I get it. I don't think Brits understand the smoke ring. I don't think. Do they have that? Is there a comparable? Did they do that where people smoke and they make little rings?
It's a natural progression.
I don't think so because I think that's okay. Because I don't see a lot of Brits doing it. I see a lot of Hoosier ass Americans doing it. At least back in the day.
Rings.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Yeah.
I just didn't know. I mean, they seem to be.
Hey, I was gonna say, if it's featured in Lord of the Rings, that's basically.
All I know is that seems to be kind of a knucklehead thing to do, and I just don't think when I think of people in the UK, I would think they to me always felt like they had a little more culture.
Oh, there's knuckleheads in the UK, mate. Don't worry.
right. But not true middle Missouri Hoosiers like Andrew and I know. Right.
Yeah.
If you know, you know. Right. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. If you're standing in the farm field and you hear banjo music, run back to your house.
Right. Just take. Yeah. So I think that's the problem with Google. I think with the 10, I think a lot of people are kind of like, the 9's just as good. They don't have a flippable option, and I think people who are trying to move into a foldable flippable, I think a lot of them, especially like my daughter and younger people, I think they're trying to flip more because I think to them it gives them a smaller phone that gives them to a regular phone that they're used to. I think that's more of a palpable and attainable goal as opposed to going something like this, because I don't think a lot of those people are ready. They're not ready for that yet, all the way.
Well, and our pocketbooks aren't ready.
Right.
I think that's the biggest problem.
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money.
It's just I just don't think that any phone that's over $1,500 is ever going to get mainstream attraction. They have to get the prices below $1,500 for those big for the tablet foldables. I think they're the single biggest reason why what you said about the experience combined with the fact that you can buy a flippable for under $1,000.
Hell, if you wait a year, you can buy a Razor for what, $500-600 bucks.
That's what I was going to say, though, right, guys. Where they're becoming more durable, the second-hand market is becoming more appealing because people were scared before, right?
Right. You don't want. I don't want to Fold 2 from like a year and a half ago because it was already
exactly right.
It's sketchy as hell. It's as a kid saying, "Shit sus." Shit sucks, right?
But a Fold 7 next
I wish you
year,
could play the sus music from the Among Us.
Right, but I mean, but a Razr 2024, a Fold 6.
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, even a 9 Pro Fold,
now.
right? Like a 9 Pro Fold is like, okay, I think okay.
Yeah, I think
I would agree.
So it'd be interesting the second-hand foldable market in a
and it's
2
like
years' time.
I've looked at the Razors in the used market, and it's like the biggest thing for me holding back. It's two things: the price, because you look at the prices at a glance, and you're like, oh, those aren't that expensive, but it's like 128 gigabytes of storage or something like that. Or what if it's one of the older Razors that the high end, but they didn't have the ultra wide? Right. You know what I mean? So it's like it's a little bit more nuanced in some of those because once we see a few Razors or whatever, because like at least the Samsung just stays consistent because they don't know how to innovate anymore that much. They knew some, but but like with Motorola, it's like there's different changes within significant enough changes for where it's more than just the durability.
Right, and I think the Razor. I think the last Razor Ultra, the 25 Ultra, I think is about as good as you're going to get from a full. I mean, obviously you'll have some, creasing and stuff like that. Maybe some improvements in battery, but I think overall, Motorola with the Razor, that 2025 Ultra, because that's a powerhouse phone. Like
Fingers
that.
Crossed. That's what I'm getting next, Sam.
Yeah, I want to know because, like I said, if I ever got a secondary like a side phone, I'm not going back to a slab. I would get like a Razor.
And how good would that be though? I'm going to be rocking the V5 and the Razor Ultra. Like,
dude,
guys,
what a combo!
Just think though, Razor with the silicone carbide battery with the same capacity as the 2025 one, but do you think they could be able to save enough space with that compacted capacity to where they could have a telephoto zoom?
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, that would be beautiful because then that would make it like
just have it all across the top.
Mm-hmm. It would make it a very, very appealing device.
Or you can even do a pyramid, like a small little triangle. Just have like right there. Well, I'm saying you don't have to have across the just have a housing. Yeah, you could. I think so. If they're willing to go a little thicker on the clamshell.
Well, the silicon carbon, they might not need to. That's what Andrew's saying, though. If they went silicon carbon, they might not need to. And that would be brilliant. Because we're not going to talk about a telephoto on like S25 Ultra. We just want a 3X. We don't want a massive.
You don't need a 100X, but just something where you can. You can get a 3 optical and maybe gets to 10 pretty good on the crop, and then you're
all we need.
Shape. Yeah, I think and then my question, Andrew, is if they were to do that and bring that phone at like $1099 and had all those things, would that be enough to maybe move you out of the Xperia and maybe get in? So it's really just the camera
and software updates. That's the other one.
That's
because I've been bitten pretty hard by.
I was gonna say you're using a fucking Xperia. Let's calm down.
More than 2 updates,
right? I'm just saying.
I know that I want to use my phone more than 2 years nowadays because I use that every year. But nowadays there's no reason to.
Right.
So
yeah, so if they can get like, let's say they gave you 3 years of now, I don't think the cadence is going to improve. I think the bi-monthly is kind of a moto thing, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I really don't think that's unnecessarily. If
It's
you're
not
on
terrible, no. Yeah.
no, but if they can give you like 4 years of OS and then like 5 or 6 years of
boom,
bi-monthly cadence,
I would be sold.
On security
I'd be like,
updates.
yes,
Okay.
Moto, let me sell you the future children I won't have. Yes, to make
there you go. I'm just gonna go ahead and use your neighbor's kids. We're just gonna put them on lease.
Yeah,
They don't even know it.
it.
Yeah, they don't even know. But and I guess the other thing I noticed that Samsung is talking about, and I guess we always hear about these rumors, a trifold. I don't want to do it, but I gotta check it out. I mean, it's like I wish I could get one. Like I wish I could get. I had enough like.
It's only a matter of time that Samsung and Honor, I think, do it.
Well, I mean, Honor makes more sense because Honor is literally the spiritual successor to the.
Yeah, but Samsung's seen it. We know they're working on it.
Well, they've already said that that's a thing. Like they're going to do it. It's just a matter of when they're going to bring it to market. But Samsung has not talked about. Yeah, we're not really feeling the trifold thing. We don't think that's a thing. They're like, nope, that's totally in development. We are going to do it. Now it's whether it's mid 26 or 27.
I am worried about the trifold. Depending on how they design it, I am worried about durability still because
and I agree. It's a first gen. Can you imagine a 5th gen trifold? That they've worked out kinks.
Now a trifold makes even more sense, really, because that canvas going up.
That's a true tablet to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because really, when you open up this, you're basically a square, and I don't know many tablets you have that are perfectly square. However, your iPads and your real decent like tab, and then here's the thing: who can handle the software better than Samsung when it comes? They have the Tab series. They know how to handle tablet style software interfaces. And I mean, I don't want to be a Samsung knight because I'm not. I just happen to be. But I think pound for pound, if the Fold 7 would have came out with a little weaker situation and kind of didn't really do much, and the Fold 10 comes out from Google, I think we have a different conversation. I think when the 7 came out, anybody in the United States saw that in the foldable market was like, that's pretty close to dope. I mean, that's pretty close to like a 10 out of 10. Like I have not heard anybody really, but when they come out, and then the problem is, so does that make the 10 a bad phone? No, it's behind the fact that you had a good comic come out here and crush the whole room and didn't come out and bomb, right? You're come off a good comic, so your shit's like, yeah, we have good material, but the guy just came out here and crushed it. And so now I'm behind a guy that just crushed it. And you're like, yeah, I'm bringing good stuff too, but not the great stuff.
I have a controversial take.
Uh-oh.
Here
we go. Drink up, Shriners. Here we go.
Yeah. I think that a not terrible design for a foldable type would be to have, because now it's like both sides are basically asymmetrical. I am not opposed. Now, this is me as a right-handed person saying this.
I'm right-handed too, so that's
fine. I like the idea of having one side being thicker than the other so that I could get benefits of maybe a periscope telephoto zoom or other stuff. And then if I'm holding in one hand, it's kind of like those Kindles. It's kind of like,
so it's like this, right? A little bit bigger on one side.
Yes. But when you have it closed, it doesn't matter. When you open it, most people are right-handed.
Oh, okay.
And it's like there are some Kindles that are not symmetrical in that design, though it's a little bit more purposely designed for behold like that. But that's not necessarily a bad idea, I don't think. Yeah. I think there could be benefits in the meantime until material science and miniaturization of tech catches up.
Well, but my argument would be, and I agree with that, but just if you're going to do both for me, just make both sides the same thickness and be done with it.
That's fair.
It's a little thicker, but
it'll last 2 days maybe.
Yeah, especially if a bit of bigger carb. Also, and then on these phones, I know Samsung thinks that nobody uses the pen, but if you had a little thicker, maybe you can get a slimmer, thinner, kind of S Pen-ish. And maybe, or maybe not. I'm okay with that.
To be fair, I say these things about loving thick phones, and like I had the LG V60 with its like dual screen case, which made it.
I love that
thick phone.
And that was a chunky monkey. Yeah,
I remember I had it like in a jacket pocket one time. That was like my jacket was unzipped, so it was kind of flopping. And I jumped over the bed of a truck, it down on the ground, and the thing came down and just like smacked my funny bone in my elbow, and I was like, "Damn, I think my phone might be a little too hefty."
Right. Yeah, and I did want to tell people I did finally get the Thinborn case.
Ooh,
It's.
I didn't even know that was a case.
Yeah, it's Thinborn. It finally came, and it's it's legit.
Okay.
Like this is legit. Like I
had
really
no idea that was a case. To be fair,
no,
like,
I had the thing with, and they finally resolved it. I got it shipped out. I've had it on there for about a week and a half now, and yeah, I'm digging it. You know what I do like about here is you probably can't tell, but it's almost like metallic. So when it touches, I thought it was funny when I put it down. I had it on the desk. It heard that like it was metal sound. Like whoa, is like the camera's touching? No, it's not. But I think this ring is kind of like a metal, and it's really nice. Like it was easy to put on. It's that carbon fiber. I wish it had a little color. You know, I mean, I mean carbon. I mean, I'm not MKBHD. I don't think Matt carbon fiber everything. But as far as the case goes, it's really been nice. I'm actually been pretty impressed with it. I actually do, and
awesome.
And considering the fact that after I'm waiting for a month, I actually got it for basically essentially after the discount, $30. Oh, this is also cool. I told you I had one of these, right? This is the thing. This is a 3D printed thing. So if you want to look about the Shane Craig, right? It's a little it's 3D printed. It's like a plastic 3D printed thing from a guy. It was like $30. But here, check this out. I forgot. The Thinborn case has MagSafe. So watch this. See?
Okay, that's awesome.
Which is funny because the other one didn't have it, so in the regular Samsung case. So I went to pick it up off the charger. I pulled the whole charger. See? It won't come loose. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And they're like, oh shit, there's a magnet in there, and it's actually pretty durable. So I got the Thinborn case, and it's got a little MagSafe deal. I wish they would have had I wish they would have told me, or I would have read that there's a ring here. There's nothing that indicates that there's a MagSafe. It's just a clear case. And I'm thinking, okay, this is great. And then I went and I put it in there. I watched it go snap. I went, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm actually pretty surprised. It's actually been a pretty solid case. I don't know. It's
pretty interesting how in the Pixel 10 series, one of the nicest things people have to say about it is the MagSafe stuff. Yeah. And I'm like, ooh, that's like not the main thing.
No, it's not. But I will tell you that
Joe, if you're muted. We can't hear you, Joe.
I can hear you. No, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Is your local mic turned off? Because you're on the software, you're unmuted, but I think your local mic is turned off.
Oh, no, it's on.
Oh, there you go. We got you.
Oh, that was weird. I've not.
I was just thinking about like, man, you've been quiet a little bit.
the last 30 seconds, you weren't muted on stream.
I didn't say anything. That's why.
No, I was watching you talk.
Oh, okay, weird.
Or unless you were.
I was just going to say about how foldables, right? It's all about multitasking.
Mm-hmm.
I've got 5 apps there open.
Oh, that's because it's yeah.
So I got a floating window, and I've got 4. You can have 5. You can have like various. Literally, I love it. I've never multitasked much on a mobile device before, but now, like, I love doing it. And this is quite funny. This is what I like AI for, right? There's loads of Bob Ross AI videos.
The Sora. Oh. What is going on, dude? I saw Bob Ross like playing Call of Duty and just shooting people.
Yes,
and I was like,
I love that one. Yeah,
I'm like, what the hell is going on, dude? He's like, I'm out here just caving.
This is what AI is all about.
Canoes and foreheads.
This guy's crying. He's like, Bob Ross is like painting his face, and he's like, "Don't paint my face." And he's like,
right. The other one is just like, he's like, Bob Ross is like, I'm out here just canoeing foreheads. I'm like, dude, canoeing foreheads. What is happening right now, dude?
There's one where he makes a mistake and he gets pissed off.
That one, and the Stephen Hawking wrestling ones are pretty.
Oh, dude, when he's like, yeah,
it's like he just rolls it off of the top of the cage,
dude.
I'm not even a wrestling guy. I don't even like wrestling, and I think it's hilarious.
It is so wrong in so many different ways, and yet I'm here for it. It's so. I saw it was the Sora thing, and then I guess I saw I just needed a Sora, and then I guess a couple of other people did, and they're having fun with it. And then this Bob Ross shit starts showing up. I'm like,
it's just all over the place.
I cannot think of Bob Ross like playing
All
Call of
for
Duty
it.
and just shooting people in the face. It's like
so-
that's so wrong.
It's so scary because like now I've reached a point now where I do so much more now than I used to. I question every video I see now, like on
Yeah.
Reddit, because like there's been so many of those videos of like bears, like a guy sleeping like on his porch and the bear's like licking his face and wakes up, and that's AI, and it's like,
Right.
And I'm a person who likes to go find like archival footage for stuff because I love history, and that's a scary implication for a lot of that. So yeah, it's interesting. As much as stuff's funny, it's scary as fuck.
Nothing makes me laugh than Bob Ross saying putting warheads on foreheads. I don't know, man. I just like I don't know, man. I'm just saying.
Just quickly on that point, Andrew.
Yeah.
Like dumb people think bears are friendly right now because they see that video and they're like,
God.
it's like,
well,
no,
you know it's going to
like
be
that.
funny. Then somebody's going to be doing that, and there's going to be a real video, somebody videotaping said person getting eaten, and then you're going to be like, oh yeah, okay.
Well, and the worst part is that one video I saw was a brown bear, not a black bear, and black bears are scared as fuck of us. You know, like you can chase them off with like pots and pans and banging them. You know?
Yeah, and they're
brown
pretty
bears
common in
don't give
Missouri.
a crap, and polar bears are like, hold my beer, I'm the ultimate.
Yeah,
bear.
polar bears, man.
Yeah. Right. Well, and like I said, in Missouri, black bears are fairly common. They're kind of all over the place, especially in rural areas. Their black bears are kind of everywhere, and even to the point where like, oh, there's a black bear in the neighborhood, and he's running around, and then he moves on to another subdivision or whatever. So I've seen a couple, and yeah, they're all kind of messing around. But yeah, as far as like bears or grizzlies or dude, not all bears are the same. Don't listen to Sora. That chick's gonna get you jammed up, or it could be a dude. I don't know who it is. It's maybe it's I don't know, but I saw the
Bears don't
Sora.
give an F, and they don't need to give an F.
Right. So basically, yeah, we'll see. But yeah, now anytime I see a video now, we're getting to the point now where the first thing when it's any kind of video that's a little like, what the hell, right? In your mind, my immediate reaction is it's AI generated, and even if it's legitimate, and that's going to be
You question it, right? You do.
Right. We're starting to get to that thing where it's starting to be socially like. Now
we're reaching a point now where I'm not catching an AI video based off of telltale signs and imperfections. I'm catching it that it's an AI video because it doesn't make fucking sense for that whole situation to happen.
Yeah. That's
right.
it. Yeah.
But the problem is
that is the scary part. Is
there's going to be there are some situations that they may make sense in extreme circumstances. So that's where I think that's where the blurring of the lines is really going to be. And I think
reasonable doubt is going to be a problem.
Well, then also too is you've seen people they've reverse engineered like old archival. Like somebody was showing me one day, and I don't know what it was. I mean, clearly Bob Ross he's dead, clearly, but he hasn't made a video in years.
Did I send you that Martin Luther King one where he's saying about Jet 2 holidays?
Right, and then the other one too is I've seen
ridiculous.
a lot of. I've seen like when they have like sports people, like they have like the after meeting game meeting or whatever, and they have like the press conference after the game. He's like, yeah, Pat Mahomes can eat a gallon of dicks and da da da. I'm like, but if you just watch it and don't really look at the words, it looks legitimately like a CBS post game football presser.
Scary.
It's like, holy shit, man! It's like that looked, and it's the same tone, it's the same inflection of voice. It is getting it's getting weird out in these streets, dog. It's getting weird in these streets. I'm just saying.
This just the big thing. We're not like societal like impact aside. It's like we're seeing moves by all these companies where they basically want to like offload all of their creative production basically to AI. But the problem is AI is never going to innovate. It's not. It's just not in the DNA to think outside of the box.
I think this is like
I'm ready for the AI bubble to burst.
Right. Vazikos is in the chat. Like, I don't know if he ever like has made comments. Maybe he watches. I just haven't. Dude, Vazikos, welcome, man. I appreciate you, sir. Yeah, that's cool. I haven't seen him making a lot of chat. So, and I hope they do make a foldable tablet. A foldable tablet's cool. Like, I know they have the laptops that it's a whole screen. I don't know how I feel about that. Having like a touch screen for the keyboard.
Nope.
I don't think I'm ready for that.
That is a hard no for this guy.
Especially for you, Mr. Keyboard. Yeah, I get it.
I like it when you put the ones that you put a keyboard onto the screen and it adapts the screen with the keyboard on.
Then we would live in Star Trek future, which I would love.
Yeah.
Right.
That was actually a feature where like one of the characters went blind and he was like computer activate like touch interface on like their flat panel like cards display. And it's like that's really a cool concept.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm not for an actual keyboard. Might be there yet, but I think in the future having other ways to kind of make that work. Dude, that sounds like a water bong. What the hell?
Sorry, I didn't realize that was.
No, it's fine. I don't care. That's just hilarious because it's like.
But it's like, sorry. So I'm using like this NVIDIA broadcast, and it's like I have it like boosting the quality, but I can't cut out the background.
Dude, that literally sounded like you were just like graphics bong, and you're just like all in. It's just fine. Yeah, it's fine.
It's like, don't worry, guys. I'm not getting up. Just on the podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm questioning if this is AI. There's no facial hair. He's doing bongs in the background. I mean, is this fat?
Yeah, I know. I'm the mirror universe. I'm the evil version, except I don't have the beard because
he's people
with beards.
He's the Wario. He's the Wario of this podcast.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's like if you guys ever watched Hercules Legendary Journeys with idiot Kevin Sorbo. But like they had this whole like evil universe version of him, and he's like, "This isn't my world, disappointed," and like that's how I feel. But side note for that lore, that line was not like in the script. It was like he was supposed to say that line disappointedly, but he just went disappointed.
Yeah, well, that's the same thing with Gary Oldman, right? The everyone
happy mistake.
He was just supposed to say everyone, and he went and screamed at everyone, and they just kept it right. So, happy mistakes, right? Just kind of so
happy accidents.
They're the best ones,
right? So we are at 90 minutes of this utter shenaniganry, right? So we're gonna go ahead and cut this off because I don't know why. I mean, there's 9 people still in the chat. God love you guys that you stayed in for all this horse shit.
You're wonderful people.
God almighty. I just like, holy crap, dude. Anyway, so we appreciate, of course, all the folks and mine. And Vasco's jumped in, and I saw, Jimmy the Fire Dragon. Ron Guido joined in. I saw Michael C., my wife, came in to kind of give me some shade. That's fine. It's okay. You know what? That way she can share her giving me a little bit of shit with all you great people. So that's all good. So we appreciate everybody who stops by. Again, tell your friends about this show. If you want them to be your friends, maybe you shouldn't tell them because they're going to come back to go, man, do you actually listen to this bullshit? And then they're going to say, yeah, it's pretty cool, right? And like, no, it's totally horrible. And then we're not listening to it anymore.
They'll shout at you, disappointed.
Right.
I'll just have that on standby now.
I actually am going to put that. Oh, by the way, so I know
the title
that
of this podcast.
Right, disappointed. Actually, this is the entire series of these podcasts is really about disappointing most of our viewers. So really, this is kind of what it is. We just come up with new and improved ways every week to disappoint all the people who come.
The disappointing tech project.
Yeah, that's the new version, right? That's the
no, call it the disappointed tech project.
Yeah.
That way you aren't the ones disappointing. You're just
right.
Yeah, that's it. We don't.
That is a different world to the Cosby Show. Let's just put it that way. That's what that is. That's the spinoff, right?
Trust me, it's all different now with the Cosby Show.
Right. So anyway, we decided to come and do it. Well, anyway, so I don't know if anybody ever pays attention, but I have music that is the footer and the header of the show. Like when you first listen to the show. Well, I talked to my buddy Matt who made all those tracks, but he was just trying to get into mixing and really wasn't really doing it very often. So I actually went on. I spoke to him at his mom's 70th birthday. We were talking. I said, "Hey, man, I love your things, but hey, do you have anything updated?" And he did. He sent me a whole bunch, not only from him, but like 15 or so of his friends. So there's like a track of there's like 15 actual different versions. So the one that we start the show with is called Wiffle Ballin'. That's the name of the actual music. And I know in the UK, I know that doesn't land because they don't know what wiffle ball is. It's basically plastic baseball. That's all you need to know.
Okay.
Anyway, so it's just baseball with a plastic bat, and the ball is plastic and it's got holes in it, so you can make it do all sorts of crazy shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so and if you really want to, you can Google it if you really want to see what wiffle ball is. Anyway,
there's a frustrating baseball.
Right. There's an updated version of that track with that sounds a lot more polished and professional, and it's actually quite longer. So I'm going to start trying to find a way to get those integrated. So if you notice that the music has changed, I was going to tie it into a season, but I don't think we're ever going to change seasons. I don't even know what's going on. But I'm just saying is I got a bunch of tracks. There was like 15 of them, and then I got them for, well, they were free, but I still donated $5 because I thought it was kind of a nice thing to do. So I've got some updated music. So if you notice that when the show starts, you may hear better intro or different intro and outro music, and that's all given to us. It's all free to use because Matt owns it. So
has he got a website or any socials so we can plug him?
No, I mean,
he deserves it.
I think so, but actually what he's doing now is he's actually kind of gotten out of the hip hop thing because he's getting older now, and he's actually writing songs. He's doing collaborations with a guy, and he lives in LA. And he's actually doing almost like rock country kind of stuff. So he's kind of changing, but he's actually doing more writing and not necessarily like doing shows.
Drop him a message, Sam, just in case he's on socials, because I'd love to plug him and just give him some.
Yeah, I know he has an Instagram. He might have a Facebook. I don't have Facebook, so I don't know. But I'll put him on Instagram. But yeah, he gave us the tracks, and again, that's him and a couple of other buddies. So it's like a collaborative effort, and I'm looking forward to it. So I'm going to try to integrate some of those in and try to change them up from
DJ Sammy.
Yeah,
and if anybody watching has thoughts or opinions about it, absolutely feel free to comment in the video about it.
Oh, please. We love it. Even if you want to come in here and just
get in Sam's DMs. Get in Sam's DMs if you hate it.
Yeah, slide into his DMs.
Slide in my DMs and tell me how much. Just let it rip, dude. I'll take all the credits. Like you can let it hair. You can say I'm old. I got a gray beard. I sound like a dick. Go for it. Whatever makes you feel good. Let it rip, dude. I'm here for it. I'm here for all the comments. So, but I'm just gonna say, I'm
gonna make a new account just to do that.
Right. So at the end of the day, if you notice there's some changes in the music, and then and I hope it. To me, it sounds a lot better. And I like it. So I'm gonna try to integrate that in and kind of listen to it. And, and see what we can do. I do. And then I get about 5 minutes in, and I go.
You have to like get it
right.
Yeah.
I get 5 minutes in. I'm like. Why does anybody listen to this shit? It's like I can understand like listen to Joe and our guests. That's cool, but I'm like,
no one likes their own voice.
Don't worry.
No one. Yeah.
Don't worry, Sam.
Right.
I don't listen to my voice afterward either.
It's you know what it is. If it was just the way my voice sounded, I could plow through that. It's really the content and how I deliver it. It's really all that.
That's a part. That's equally the same sort of feeling where it's like, like apparently William Shatner doesn't watch his performances.
Oh, really?
Similar sorts of reasons.
Yeah.
And apparently that's not uncommon with actors.
Yeah.
Right.
Someone was telling me about that, about someone else actually. Johnny Depp apparently doesn't watch his stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So like I said, I know we do good work, and I love the fact that I get to work with Joe on a weekly basis, having guests and having Andrew come in. I was so excited that he's able to join us because I know he's busy. You've moved again to another city and you're trying to work through all those kind of things. And so we always appreciate you, spending some time with us. And actually, it wasn't just an hour. We're here almost an hour and a half, a little over an hour and a half.
I know. I have a blast every single time I'm on with you guys. So you guys say, hey, you want to hop on? I'll be like, yes.
We love it. We love it.
Yeah. and honestly, I think going forward, I haven't talked to Joe about this, so we can just kind of put it out there. But I mean, unless somebody reaches out to us, I've reached out to a couple people, and it just hasn't really happened. And I kind of was talking to Adam Dowd, and we had a really good conversation. We had our lunch, and he's like, it's just me and Cliff, right? We just do our thing. We don't really have guests on. Every once in a while, somebody will jump in and contribute. We don't, but I'm not bringing in major guests. Although he did say that he was gonna try to see if we get Miriam Jawar. I would like to have Miriam on the show. I am a huge. I am a super fan of Miriam.
Photography.
Just engineering, her work's trajectory. I just like her as a person.
She's just an amazing human being.
She just sounds like a person that I could rock with. Like I
remember when Miriam was on the Verge podcast way back in the Galaxy Nexus days.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was in Hawaii, Sam, didn't I?
Yeah.
She doesn't know who the hell I am. And I saw her and I was like, I've got to go and say hello. She gave me a hug, man. Just straight up bang. Who I was.
Really awesome.
And I thought that just made it for me. I was like, she's an awesome human being.
And I know, and Adam and Miriam have a really close relationship. They're pretty cool. And he had mentioned that he was going to maybe mention it to her. And that's not anything. But all I know is, but yeah, it's one of those things where I am a humongous fan of Miriam Jabbar. She
On
is
that
one of my
note,
favorite.
Her podcast
favorite
is amazing as well. People
Yeah.
should check it out if they don't already.
Mobile Tech Podcast. Check that out. She does it all the
Yeah.
time. She's got a lot of great guests.
Very
but
good.
obviously,
Mhm.
anybody who is following us, if you aren't following Miriam and listening to her shows and listening to her content, and just follow her on the socials because she makes little videos and stuff. Miriam's
Mhm.
amazing. She's just one of the most amazing.
You might know
people.
her as Tank Girl.
Tank Girl, TNK, GR.
Yeah.
I think it's GRL. Yeah. So
Yeah,
check
no-
her
no
out.
vowels.
Yeah. So just check her out. She's amazing. Like I said, I can't say enough great things. I've never actually I've never met her. But yeah, dude, if she ever reaches out and says she wants to come on the show, I'm clearing my whole week. And that's going to
She
be
is
cool.
cool. She is so cool.
So, but anyway, but
Yeah.
just generally overall, we might have we'll have Andrew on for sure. And maybe like Juan and TK and those kind of things. But
Captain's
just
always welcome.
generally reaching out to like these other creators. A lot of these people are very busy. Like I reached out to Shane. I haven't heard back from him. He's growing a brand. He's creating content. Adam is doing his thing. Adam Dow's doing his thing. They're traveling. They're going to IFA. They're visiting. They're writing. They're building content. Like they don't have time to sit here on a Sunday. This is prime time for them to do their
Sam,
work. And
on that note,
so-
though, I think we should have stuck with our guns. With when we was like brainstorming a little bit of how we wanted to do things. We initially said we'd have like creators that had a low following,
Mhm.
and I think
we need
to go back to
Yeah.
that. Like,
Yeah, I was gonna say it's never too late.
we need to. I mean, we're not even rebranding, but yeah, I think we should start focusing on just having like Andrew come on occasionally when he's available. Juan, when obviously his schedule, but just regular lower and people who are just like us, right? We're just doing it for love of the game. They're maybe only have, we've had Jason on because I know Jason does a great job, and I know he's on his on the podcast, so him and Darren do that thing. But those kind of people, right? People that are sub 10,000, sub 5,000, and just trying to get out there and just doing it for love, realizing that it's probably going to be a long. Yeah, we're all mates, right? And because honestly, I appreciate all the work that like Jacqueline Dallas and Mr. Who's the Boss and all these guys and gals do. It's just we're a low key show. We just do this because it gives me and Joe something to do, and he's got the PSC. Which again, if you're not, please, folks, if you're listening to the show and you're not subscribed to the PSC with him and Ted, please do yourself a favor. I am glued to every single show. I get notified. I put notifications when that thing drops. And for me, it happens at a different time. It's not always convenient for me because of the time change.
Yeah.
Do yourself a favor. Go listen to that because they do a fantastic job over there. You got a great community. So if you go on their MeWe, I can't say enough good things about it. I like the I know obviously we can't replace Steve Litchfield because he's he's one of the most polished people in this space, right? But it's a good energy. It's just a different energy. And Joe and Ted really do a great job. And I mean, honestly, I wish it was more a daily show than a fortnightly show, but I'm just being selfish, right? Because I'm that guy. I'm like, I wish I could listen to it more often. And I not say it because Joe's my partner in crime. He's my mate, but I genuinely do like the show. I like the vibe. I like how they
That's
introduce
great to
everything.
hear because
It's really good. I've always been a fan of the PSC for a long time, and honestly, Ted's fantastic, and he was on earlier in the chat. But yeah, go check them out too. Add that to your repertoire, Miriam Jawar, and then whomever else you like to listen to in your podcast feed. But also make sure, don't forget about us. We're not chopped liver over here. I'm just saying we're okay. So yeah. So again,
Sam's
check
put us
out
on TikTok as well. By the way,
I put us on TikTok. I haven't loaded a video because I don't know how to use the TikTok. I don't know anything about it, but we have
no content, but we're on there.
We have it.
It's not a bad thing to be like, I don't know enough to doom scroll on TikTok. You know, like as long as you can put your content on there, it's fine.
Right. We have a channel placeholder, and the funny thing is, so does Lenny. So he's got the Nomad Tech. So you'll see the Nomad Tech project twice. I thought ours says podcast, but I don't know if I did. I gotta change. I mess with it.
Yeah, if it hasn't, maybe change it.
Yeah, I gotta change it to the podcast because I think he has a Nomad Tech project.
Yeah,
and I know he posts stuff every once in a while, and I know that the name's different because they can't be the same. And I'm pretty sure it's
active all of a sudden. It's like
and it's great because I Lenny's my people. He's him having the purposely pixels. The only reason and Joe reaching out to me is the only reason I got back into this because I was just gonna say fuck it, I'm done. And I'm glad I did. I'm glad I decided to embark on this journey with Joe.
Many
having
years
people
down the road.
Andrew. Yeah, and we're still doing it. I mean, we're not 1,700 shows in. I mean, like the PSC, but I think
Not that
generally,
many. It's a lot.
well, and here's the thing. I have followed a bunch of other podcasts. People are trying to get them off the ground, and they are not active anymore. For whatever reason. So the fact that we've kind of persisted and we're plus 100 shows and stuff is pretty cool. Like I really like doing this. I look forward to it every week, and having the chat and then reaching out to Andrew and having him come on was great too. So,
well, it's a pleasure to be here because it's not about making something to be a business or anything. It's just about shared passions and sharing it with kick-ass people. That is why this is such a treat. Every time, so yeah, like shoot, if I'm able to, and you guys are like every other week, and you want to hop on.
Well, I realize your work schedule used to kind of preclude that cadence, but if you're into that, we would love to have you on every other week or at least a couple times a month.
For that.
Yeah, I'm down a couple of times a month.
So that's cool. So yeah, so see, we're kind of like, and this is the stuff that we don't do behind the scenes, right? It's transparency. Frankly, we're being transparent. You can see all the stuff, right? So this is the stuff that we talk about, and I want you, because we're just like, give me feedback about the music that we're into. Like, do you think we should reach out to people? I know again, we've tried, and it's hard when you're, obviously if MKBHD reaches out to these people, they're going to be, jumping, or Joe Rogan or whatever, podcasters, right? We're not that, right? So let's just keep it a buck, right? So, but having that on, and you always, feedback, positive or negative, right? Anything you want to see, things we can do, stuff we can change, we're all good with that. So, and if you just want to say Sam sucks, yeah, shit, that's cool. Like run that up the flagpole. I'm fine with that too. I'm a big kid. I can handle it. I mean, I might cry in my coffee a little bit and contemplate sadness.
No,
but
it's the one, you have to have the one tier.
Oh, okay. The Michael Jordan. Right,
it's the Italian guy playing an indigenous person.
Right.
In fact, we should make that a Twitter thing. Hashtag Sam sucks.
Yes. Hashtag Sam sucks.
Hashtag cancel Sam.
Right. Yeah. You can cancel me because who cares? It's fine. I'm still going to show up. But anyway, so again, great feedback, great show. Andrew's awesome. Let us know. And then again, streamskins.co.uk. Go get your skins, skin your shit, do all that stuff. Come back next Sunday. We're going to do it again. I don't know why, but we're gluttons for punishment. We're going to be here anyway. So fuck it. And remember, enjoy your tech. Try to be nice to people. Don't be a dick. Right. And Joe is just going to hold up his Lumix for no reason whatsoever.
It's a new bit of tech. I've got 100 mil. F2.
Is that a new lens as opposed to the last new lens you had 2 weeks ago? How many lenses did you have?
No, this is the one I got. No, this is the one I got for my birthday.
Oh, okay. So
this is the new lens I mentioned before.
He's getting enough lenses to where he could hook them all together and pole vault with them.
Yeah.
Right. He's gonna take a picture of me in my driveway, and the lens is gonna be right here in my face. It's macro.
Show up for macro, just
right. Exactly. And more like micro. It's fine, whatever. It's all good.
Macro, which I don't know.
It's the same thing. It's just letters. Who cares? Anyway, so for myself, for Joe, for Andrew, thanks so much for coming to Nomad Tech Project with Sam and Joe. Back next Sunday with another episode. Probably just me and Joe, unless something changes. I don't know. But if not, we'll talk about stuff. And at the end of the day, enjoy your tech. Don't be a dick. Skin your shit. And we'll see you next Sunday on the Nomad Tech Project with Sam and Joe. Right. Have a couple of cocktails. Right. Or be like Andrew and hit a graphics bomb. I mean, who knows? Whatever. Smoke rings. It's fine. Or don't do that. It's illegal. Whatever. Do that. I don't care. It's the UK. Go fuck off. Whatever. So for myself, for Joe, thanks a lot. Take care of you guys. See you next Sunday. And we're almost at 2 hours. So, Nope. Marathon. Yeah. All right. Take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye-bye.